It's Sunday night. There's no place you'd rather be than Blast It or Stash It with me, I guess. I don't know. I'm not a great legend. I can't rhyme like that, but we'll just go with it. And Drew, you're up with your movie quote. Try to give us a rhyme too, if you can.
No. How about that?
Okay, we'll go with that. That sounds good to me.
I do have a movie quote. It's from 2006. It is not a comic book movie, but here we go. All I ever cared about was video games, and they made me a millionaire. So maybe I don't know what the Civil War was or who invented the helicopter, even though I own one, but I did beat The Legend of Zelda before I could walk. I'm thinking about getting metal legs. It's a risky operation, but it'll be worth it.
Grandma's Boy.
Yes, it is.
Oh wow! I was gonna say that movie with the kid from Wonder Years in the Power Glove, but what was the name of that movie? I forgot.
The Wizard.
The Wizard. Yeah, I was thinking The Wizard. Yeah. Pocan Joe.
All right, my quote is from 1964, but it's a popular movie. Gentlemen, you can't fight in here. This is the war room.
Oh, Dr. Strangelove.
Correct.
That's what I was just saying. Doctor's Horrible sing along blog. I just watched that the other day. Mike, you're up.
Do you want me to do a rhyme?
If you got a rhyme, yeah, do a rhyme.
You don't need pants for the victory dance.
No, you don't. That's your movie quote as well?
No.
Give us your quote. If your internet will allow it.
2004. White Russian, no ice, no vodka, and hold the Kahlua.
Cocktail, the movie.
Ooh.
No.
I know this. Is it Dumb and Dumberer?
No.
I don't know.
2000.
Catwoman? JLS in the chat says Catwoman.
It is Catwoman. My favorite Catwoman.
Halle Berry.
Oh, Halle Berry.
You're the only one who likes that.
So far in the poll online on the Facebook page. Mine is a comic book movie. Go ahead.
To give her some love, no one else will.
Yeah, I know.
No, I'll give her some love. I'm just not voting for her in that poll.
Oh, this is a comic book movie. I didn't see what year it was. Have you ever heard of Jihad or Blogger.com? I'm posing as a one-armed Wahhabi warrior who took a crap in a cave next to Bin Laden. I think I can score you a couple rocket launchers.
Iron Man?
Mystery Man?
No.
Is that Kick-Ass 2?
No.
Iron Man 2.
Now, if I tell the character, it'll totally give it away, and I'll give you one more guess, and I'll go with the character. Micro was the name of the character that said it.
Is this Punisher Warzone?
Yeah, Punisher Warzone, Ray Stevenson. I think my favorite Punisher of the Punisher movies.
I'll take the Netflix Punisher over Warzone.
Oh, man. Ray Stevenson did such a good job, though, I think, as Frank Castle. But that's just me. Kind of cheesy in some parts.
Daredevil Season 2 Punisher was probably the best depiction of Punisher I've seen so far.
Yeah, I'm not saying that John Bernthal's Punisher is not great, but I mean, for me, Ray Stevens kind of had the same build. You know, the good build for Punisher, big, tall, big guy versus John Bernthal's.
know you like those big guys.
I know. I'm a big teddy bear. But moving on from what my personal likes are, let's go with you, Drew. And what's your first like this week?
I want to talk about a book from Image Comics. I missed the number 1. I actually got number 1 and number 2 this week because number 2 came out. I saw it on the shelf. I said, what the hell is this? And luckily, they still had a copy of number 1, and that's Murder Falcon. If you guys aren't reading Murder Falcon, I don't know what you're doing with your lives. This is about a falcon called Murder Falcon. He's got a robot arm. And he's got a bandana and some sweet cargo pants. Also rocks these Doc Martin boots. And you know what? He fights monsters. He's from another dimension, and he's powered by this dude's guitar. It's pretty awesome. They're in the second issue trying to recruit the bass player from his old band and find the mythical bass that will control another mythical monster. So this is a lot of fun. I'm digging it. There's some mystery and heart behind what's going on here, but mostly it's just high energy kinetic art. If you're looking at these covers here, you're looking at what the interiors look like. It's pretty amazing stuff. Great story, great art, a lot of fun. Murder Falcon, man. Stashing it.
Anybody else read Murder Falcon this week?
I did not. It wasn't even a funny story.
No. I remember seeing the first one in Solicits, and it kind of reminded me of Brutal Legend, the video game with Jack Black.
It doesn't really have that vibe to it as much as it's this guy's kind of down on his luck, and he's the reluctant hero, and Murder Falcon just kind of like comes through a portal, and he's like, play that freaking guitar over there. And as he hits these riffs, Murder Falcon's powered up by the metal, and he just beats the shit out of monsters. It's really amazing.
How did I miss this book?
I don't know how you missed it.
It's right up your alley.
I missed it too. I'm coming in on issue 2, man. So,
Joe, your first book.
Let's talk about Infinity Warps. This has been consistently good. And if you don't know, this is the cross-up between Mr. Fantastic, which is him and his sister, which is kind of awkward, but I'll go with it. Human Torch and The Thing. I got several covers for this, actually. I went ahead and picked up this sketch variant, and then I picked up the Hot Rocks, as I believe what they're calling them, Mr. Invisible. Yeah, I'm liking it. You know, they're keeping with all the other traditional stories that have been coming along with this, and the world that they're creating has been very relevant to the story as well. So we got some good stuff in there. We got some new powers. I guess technically first appearances can be listed here. How long they live, we'll find out in the next issue of Infinity War. So kind of excited about that. Great storyline in here too. It's 3 different stories. Yeah, I really liked it. We got a little bit of what would happen if Black Widow and She-Hulk kind of merged together. And what did we get? Sexy greenness. So that was kind of cool. So stash it.
Before I get to you, Drew, do you read it, Mike?
I did read that. Before we get into that, we got Jockyo, who just popped into the chat. Beyond the Blast Doors, haven't seen them in a while. Good to see them guys. Shirtless Comic Hunter. Were they?
They were here last week. They commented on our video.
Oh wow, gotcha. My bad. Jeremy Edwards, Pages, Films, and Plastics. CR Comics to Toys, JLS Comics. It's Explained was in here in the beginning, and so was Bruce Zayas. And I enjoyed Infinity Warps. I liked the Professor X Watcher crossover right at the beginning and at the end there. That was pretty funny. And my new favorite Fantastic Four member is fucking Hot Rocks right there, baby. Love me some Hot Rocks. So, yeah, stash it.
Okay, Drew, you're holding that up there with a little Squirrel Girl Hulk action.
Yeah, man. Squirrel Girl crossed with Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. Pretty cool story there. Yeah, Hot Rocks and Mr. Invisible. Good stuff there. And I wasn't down so much for the story with the Green Widow, but I did enjoy the art. So there's a lot of fun to be had here. Really cool stuff. I'm enjoying it. Stashing it.
I have not been picking up any of those Infinity Warps. It's got too many stuff going on. How about you, Mike? What's your first book for the week?
Let's see. Let's do Venom number 8 real quick.
Let's.
Fucking awesome. Venom continues to be awesome. We got the Maker in this one, who's an awesome villain. What more can I say about it? Stash it.
Is my hair okay? Looking at my hair, make sure this is good. Yeah, so we end up find out that Eddie Brock ends up getting free from the Maker, and finding out Flash is truly dead. Yeah, good stuff. I think they're setting up the next big story arc here coming up, especially with that reveal at the end of that book. Definitely good stuff. Hopefully, we're not going to see a Carrot Top. That's all I got to say. But definitely continuing to stash good old.
Forgot about the end.
Yeah. Oh, you picked up the X-Men. Is it J. Scott Campbell? Is that who that is? Or
It
what
is.
That?
I've been picking up all these Uncanny X-Men covers. I'm an X-Men collector, so yeah, you tell me the mutants are going to be on all the covers, I'll be picking them up. But yeah, that's the J. Scott Campbell. Pretty cool stuff. Loved Venom. Love the fact that they're getting back to this Flash Thompson part of the story. We get a little bit of Agent Venom showing up, taking over for a little bit. Eddie realizing and paying homage to how great a Venom Flash actually was. The best part about this, not the reveal at the end, but right before that, you get the Maker looking at his monitors, and there's a lot going on those monitors. Take a moment to check and see what's going on there, especially since Donny Cates is taking over Marvel Knights, and he's also going to be doing the Guardians of the Galaxy post Infinity War. So keep your eye on what's going on there. Lots of different continuity being tied into this book, and I like the fact that they're giving Donny Cates the opportunity to really play with it. So good stuff, man. I'm enjoying it. Stashing the hell out of it.
Jock
so who y'all? Go ahead.
Shut up. Jock Yo is on Venom is on the permanent stash list.
Was he talking to me?
Permanent. Who?
You?
Yeah, I was. Yep.
What an asshat. I'm looking at who's all on the monitor here on the Makers, the Who's Next or What's Next segment, real quick.
Comics Misexplained said it looks like the Unseen was on one of the TVs.
The Unseen was on one of the TVs, but he can't be unseen because we just saw him.
Interesting. Interesting. Okay, let's go with my first book here. Let's go. Let me see what I can find. Not sure if anybody else read this week. I know they've had other issues. Maybe they're Serenity. I'm not sure if maybe they're Firefly. I know it's been in comic form before, so it's nothing new. But I really wanted to pick this up. Huge fan of Serenity. Huge fan of the TV show Firefly, even though it got canceled after like 4 episodes. But good stuff. So Firefly here, continue on. Essentially, it's like another episode from the TV show, essentially. I mean, if you've ever seen the show, they're able to grab Mal's character pretty well, and kind of you can hear that in his voice. You can hear Brooks or Booker, right? Booker, yeah. You can hear his voice. You can hear Jane's voice. I mean, it seemed like it went really well. I think the writer did a good job of capturing those characters. So it's a stash for me. I'll definitely be probably picking up issue 2 on that one too. Drew, did you read that one?
No, I'm not huge on Firefly. I'm one of the few people who thinks that the movie was better than the show was. But people think that's blasphemy.
It is.
Freaking brown coats.
No, you're not a brown coat. Get out of here.
I don't give a shit.
Joe, what do you think of Firefly?
I did get it. Now I should segue into when I watched the show. It was totally by accident. When you're deployed, you'll watch just about anything on bootlegs, DVDs, and that's when we ended up getting it. Normally, I'm not into sci-fi comic books like this, but again, this was great. It really brought back the show. It was like it just picked up right where the show left off. If you remember hearing the customers, you hear it in there. Plus, it was just a good story, and it made sense. Something I often complain about in a lot of comic books. Everything in it was relevant. I thought it was great. And I got this beautiful cover and I have a couple other covers coming along the way. The artwork in it's stellar. I enjoyed the artwork in it. I thought it was, for a sci-fi book, it was bright. It wasn't that horrible, giddy, post-apocalyptic spray painting BS, right? It actually looked like something you would see in the show. It was really cool and I enjoyed it.
Did you read it, Mike?
No.
I read Jack Yo's comment there. I think Drew did the same time.
I have very much enjoyed Jocko's comment.
Yeah. I wanted to talk about what Joe said something about, being overseas and getting those bootleg copies. My brother was overseas. He had tons of movies on a hard drive. We brought them over, and I downloaded them in my computer to watch. And sitting there watching one, here's somebody get up in the middle of the movie theater. So, they're actually filming in the theater. I'm like, dude, what's up with this audio? Why is this audio so crappy? And then I realized they had somebody with a camcorder filming in the theater. So I ended up dropping all those downloads that I had. Drew's up with his next one, even though he maybe.
Let's talk about some more Donny Cates goodness, and that's Cosmic Ghost Rider number 5. This is really, really good stuff. This is the end of Cosmic Ghost Rider, I'm assuming, because it doesn't say he'll be back in issue 6, but it says he'll be back in Guardians of the Galaxy, which Cates is writing, and I'm super duper pumped for that to come back. So, I can't wait to see how Infinity Wars wraps up and how they go back into the Marvel cosmic scene and bring Cosmic Ghost Rider back into it. But this kind of brings him back to roundabout our time. So that does a nice job there. We get some nice self-examination of Frank Castle's character, and we get some really cool stuff with Thanos, a really badass fight. We get to see how powerful Cosmic Ghost Rider really is, and you don't want to mess with this guy. This is close to my stash of the week, but a few other things beat it out. I really, really enjoy this. This is the stash. Just goes to show you, just pick up anything Donny Cates is writing, and you'll be happy with it.
Joe?
Yeah, I liked it so nice I had to buy it twice. Got myself 2 good covers there.
Oh man, I didn't see either of those variants.
Neither did I.
All right, so to the story. The ending of this story. So yeah, it's a stash, no doubt. Can Donny Cates fuck up? I mean, I think once he does mess up, I think that's the comic book that's going to be worth the most amount of money on the secondary market. Because how can he? I mean, I'm just not getting it. But the great thing about it is the ultimate ending of this book is just total how to achieve fuck it and accept what you are. It was great. Right there at the end, he's like, that's it. I'm all this stuff. But at the end of the day, I'm the mean dog in the backyard. And he owned it, and I loved the ending to this. I don't think they could have ended it any better. It was a complete, conclusive story, great artwork in it, and we got an actual ending that made sense, and it's going to segue great into the next Guardians of the Galaxy. It's going to be awesome.
Action-packed, lots of fun, absolutely hilarious, had heart, totally brutal. What more do you want out of the comic book?
True.
Mike staring off in a distance. What did you think of it?
I didn't read it yet.
You didn't read it yet? I got 2 covers, but it wasn't either one of those covers that good old Joe got.
Ooh, I like that Thanos cover.
This one?
Yeah, really dig that.
Yeah, cool. That was cover B, I think. Yeah, that's cover B.
You should mail it to me.
Oh, maybe I'll put it into Patreon or something, and maybe you can put your own money in there.
You told me I wasn't allowed to win the Patreon. Joey wins the Patreon every week.
No, he does not. He just, yeah, that was definitely a good book. When that first came out, of course, I didn't get a chance to read his first appearance in Thanos. I jumped on really late in the bandwagon with that. When this first came out, it was almost laughable to a point. It's like, ooh, what the hell is it? Some people are saying this is stupid. This is the dumbest thing in the world. I actually enjoyed it. I enjoyed the whole series throughout. I did think it ended well to where, like you said, Drew, he really shows how powerful he is. He'll take down Thanos. He just only gave Thanos that little bit, and Thanos like, dude, what are you doing? He said, no, you haven't seen anything yet. Boom, and it just totally shows his power. And I do like how you talk about Joe too, how he just kind of accepts who he is, and this moving forward, let's just do this. So definitely a great book and a stash for me for sure. Who else is in here, Mike? We have anybody else in here, Mike?
Yes.
New peoples?
We got a couple new people. We got Pope Grimy and Splash Page Comics.
Mm.
So
And
crazy.
liking the covers, $49.63.
And Joe is up with his next book.
Oh, let's talk about the elephant in the room and see what variants I was able to snag for everybody. Uncanny X-Men #1. There it is. So I went kind of variant crazy with this one.
I wanted that one, but I just don't want to pay that much for it.
Yeah, I got 2 of them. And then the big variant that I got was the premiere variant for the top 30 stores in the U.S. Only got 2 of this particular variant right here. I was able to talk the guy down on the price on it a little bit. Probably still spent too much, but that's all right. It's a beautiful cover. I'll hold it up again. It's basically just an homage to the cover swipe from the original. Oh, that's a nice one too. So what do we got here? All the hype. And this is what kills me. All the hype, all the variants, all the X-Men stuff going out there. And we get it. And the first story was awesome. Love the first story in it. And then, it's got 2 other stories in it. And I thought they were like, yeah, we could have done without those. You didn't need to make a supersized book here and jack up the price. I thought the last 2 stories were just kind of, but the first story sets up a great universe. I think we got some excitement coming along. I didn't see the other 2 stories that relevant. I may be wrong as we go into the series, but Stash because of the first story, Stash because of the beautiful variants they've been pumping out with it. But the last 2 stories in it, I could have done without those.
Mike, what'd you think of Uncanny X-Men #1?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I love my X-Men. It was good to see the newer mutants shine on the Mutant Liberation Front. What really did it for me was the ending. I'm not going to spoil it as here, but Kitty Pryde along with a couple others, but read it. It's pretty good. And like Joe said, the last 2 stories were crap, so don't even bother. But it's a stash.
Yeah, they look at this, big, I don't know how many pages it's supposed to be. I understand they're setting up this new Uncanny universe or Uncanny, and so they got to throw a few different stories in there. But for me, I think when I look at this, I think of, one big long story instead of 3 separate little small stories. It was okay. I didn't think it was the best thing in the world. I don't know if I would have paid $8 for it. I definitely like my older X-Men. There were a couple good parts in here. I do like it when the younger team goes out and they meet up with here's Forearm, Samurai, Strobe, Dragoness, and Wildside. And they're kind of getting their butts kicked a little bit. Then they call for reinforcements, and I do love Wildside's face here when the older team shows up. He's like, oh, crap. Because they're going to get their ass handed to them in this fight. I'll probably pick up issue 2 to kind of see where it's going. But I wasn't too thrilled with it. It was kind of toward the bottom of my stack that I'm wanting to read. So, like I said, it's just $8. I wish I would have waited and caught it in the dollar band at, at least half off, $4. But, I mean, a lot of pages, a lot of reading. But, unfortunately, not good for me. Drew, tell me how I'm wrong, please.
Oh my God, I'm going to tell you all how you're wrong. I have a feeling that I'm going to get on a roll and my mic's going to explode. I've heard people talk about this book on a couple different live shows, and it seems like nobody is really blown away by this. I hear you guys talk about how you like the main story for the most part, but the backup stories, which there were 3 of, not 2 of, but they weren't as good for you. I will say that the art in 2 of the backups was a little bit lackluster, in my opinion. But if you're not on board for Uncanny X-Men, you're going to be disappointed. This right here is a fantastic #1 issue. And it's fantastic for fans of X-Men. And I think that it's a great mystery that's going to unfold throughout a weekly story, much like Avengers No Surrender did. And I remember that a couple of you guys weren't on for Avengers No Surrender when it started, but then by the end of it, everybody loved it. Now, here's the deal. You're going to love this, too. It's going to be great. The characters in this book are perfectly portrayed. Every single scene is dead on to what they are supposed to be. These writers have a handle on these characters. That's going to take us forward. We've got a mystery afoot. Who is this new villain? Is it a villain? What is this threat? What is attacking the X-Men? Because what's attacking the X-Men? Well, the threat of extinction. There's a cure on the way. Then there's other mutants fighting against them to liberate mutant kind. So we got that kind of threat going on there. We've got something about time because Multiple Man is all over the place, and you can tell that he has no idea what's going on. So there's time travel going on here. We've got the big bad that I've been telling you guys throughout these X-Men Black books is going to be the big bad. He's not going to be the big bad, apparently. He's just part of this story. And I don't think there's that much of a spoiler there. Apocalypse is in this book. He's going to be part of this book. Yeah, that was a big reveal on the last page. Not a spoiler. They've been kind of letting us know that Apocalypse is coming back in a big way. Here's the thing about this mystery. Each of these backups gives you a little piece of it as well, and I think that we just don't have enough of it together to say that they're relevant. But they did release Secrets of Uncanny X-Men was a free book this week.
I have that, and I forgot about it.
Yeah, if you guys pick this up, it doesn't really tell me anything that I don't already know, but it does tell me the kind of things that they're going to be bringing us in this book. So it says, oh, what runs should you get yourself familiar with? And guys, tell me if these are storylines that you think you're going to enjoy the X-Men writers delving into more. Legion Quest. Age of Apocalypse. The history of the Horsemen. This is all about the Horsemen of Apocalypse. Age of X Saga, which is another great Legion story, and X-Man, which came out of the Age of Apocalypse. These are the types of things that they're going to be bringing to us, and these are some of the best stories in the history of X-Men lore. They all have to do with Apocalypse in one way or another, and they also all have to do with Legion in one way or another. These are some characters that they've come across in these backup stories. They found Dark Beast. Dark Beast is from the Age of Apocalypse universe. The far-reaching implications of this story throughout the Marvel universe won't be big, but they're going to bring at you everything that they have to offer from the X-Men. It's going to be a weekly series. I'm in, and if you're not, you can hear me talk about how good it is every week here on Blast It or Stash It. This is my stash of the week, hands down.
Wow. Is Hillary Clinton the big bad? Because she's in here. She's in that backstory. She's talking to. That's Hillary Clinton, isn't it?
That's not Hillary Clinton.
I think that's Hillary Clinton.
It's not Hillary Clinton.
I think she's the big bad.
No, somebody's in Jean Grey's head. How powerful do you think they have to be inside Jean Grey's head?
I don't know. Hillary Clinton might be able to do it. I don't know. I think she's the big bad in this one. But I could be wrong.
I tell you what, if
there's
the big reveal in issue 3 about deleted emails, I'm going to lose my shit.
Scrubbed or bleached emails. Yep. That's what it's going to be. Comic Core says X-Men is awful. Woo-wee.
Comic Core is wrong.
Who started that one? I forgot. That was Joe. Moving on to Mike. Mike. Oh, there. Mike. Good.
Mighty LJ's.
Uh-oh. You got to be quiet now.
Well, Pope Grammy apparently hates the Age of Apocalypse. Pope, we're going to have to do a live stream where the two of us hash that out. Because it's the greatest event in the history of the media.
Let's go with the big thick book this week. Avengers number 10 or issue number 700, whatever, who cares? This one we get Namor still being a dick. The Avengers are trying to stop him. The Winter Guard event and another really cool ending. But I'm going to blast this book because I was after reading the X-Men, I didn't even care halfway through this. So I'm gonna stash the ending.
Yeah, so 2 really big books this week with the Avengers and the X-Men. Lots of reading to be done. I do like the fact that they're still continuing this whole potential love between Thor and She-Hulk. I'm flipping through the page. This is one of the first books I read for the week.
Flip them pages, Brian. Flip them.
Flip them. I didn't think it was too bad. I don't like She-Hulk there. She looks like Blanca from Street Fighter more than she does She-Hulk. This kind of a weird drawing. Like she's getting ready to shock him. Like Blanca used to do that. Yes, I forgot about. They have a couple big reveals at the end of each of these stories too. I did like the whole Old Man Logan Phoenix thing. They talked about that. They touched on that again. Overall, Avengers has been pretty good. Definitely far better than the X-Men book, I thought, for the week. So this is a stash for me because Avengers has been good since issue 1, as far as I'm concerned, this run. So, Drew, tell me how I'm right.
Well, it's not better than X-Men this week, so you're wrong there.
God dang
my
it.
stash of the week. But this beautiful X-Men cover. Oh man, look at that! Look at that beautiful
X-Men cover on
X-Men
an Avengers
cover
book.
on Avengers 700. Yeah, it's probably the best X-Men cover this week that was not on X-Men. Also picked up the regular cover here, and this fabulous Alex Ross. Really cool stuff there.
What was that one? Is that like
it
an
was a 1 in
incentive
50.
variant? Oh, really?
It was a
Yeah,
1 in 50?
I'm not going to spend that kind of money on it.
1 in 25. I don't know. 1 in 25, 1 in 50. One of those. I don't care. I didn't spend that much on it. I dug this story. I like how it's tied into Infinity Wars. I like how we're getting some crossover with that story there. I dug it. 700 issues of Avengers. Good stuff. The Namor stuff is still pretty cool. The Winter Guard stuff is pretty cool. And I think we all know who's lurking in the shadows on the Winter Guard. So keep your eyes peeled for what's going on there. That's a stash.
Joe.
Definite stash. This was a solid story. I really like Namor having his own team. I like the Russians reactivating the Winter Guard guys. This is just a great story, and I think we got some exciting things coming up. And then, of course, who is the Red Widow? We're going to find that out soon. I'm going to go ahead and back up to what everybody was saying about it being technically a new appearance. I'm going to go ahead and say it's wrong. I'm going to go ahead and say it's somebody we already know because she knows way too much about everybody. So that's my speculation for the week. However, I will say this is definitely a stash. Enjoyed it. Avengers did not disappoint. The subtle hints, the subtle tie-ins, great stuff going on here. Definitely immerses you into the universe. Definitely. If you don't have it, go get it.
Okay, moving on to my next book. Not a whole lot of dialogue in this book here, but that is Captain America.
Right up your alley.
Yeah, right up my alley. No big words. So sad. Definitely continuation of the story of Captain America fighting Taskmaster, trying to get to what's her name? Sharon, to save her. Definitely good stuff, good action, continuing the good story. I've been enjoying this Captain America quite a bit. Another reveal at the end here at this book as well. Definitely a stash for me. Probably close to my pick of the week just because I had so few words. I didn't have to sound anything out. So it was great. Taskmaster.
Pow. Zip. Bam. Boom. Sounding
Captain
out
America
those
does not go boom
onomatopoeias.
or bang or bow. Captain America kicks ass.
He might swing a little zip pow with his shield.
He might.
You never know.
Yeah. But Captain's a good story. Good stuff. Drew, did you recap?
Yeah, man.
Of course, you got the X-Men variant.
Oh, yeah. I kicked up the X-Men variant even though this one sucks. I was like, yeah, all right. I'm picking up the rest of them. Might as well get this one. And yeah, I picked up the regular cover. I dig this book. Ta-Nehisi Coates is writing it, and I have no idea why I still like it, but I do. So we're gonna stash it.
Joe?
I did. It's Captain America. I'm gonna read it. It's what I do. Particularly like this story. I think we got some exciting things coming up. We got a big reveal at the end. What I most liked about it is his little speech, or the narration speech, while he's defeating Taskmaster. You know, I'm going to take it to the street. I'm going to take it to the gym.
No.
I'm going to take it to school, and then I'm going to take you back to the street as he chokes Taskmaster out. I don't know why. I like this kind of darker Captain America that was kind of expressed there. Maybe it's just a narration in my own head, but it just seemed a little darker and a little meaner. You know, you're messing with somebody I love. You know, awkward situation there, but all right. But you know, and I'm going to destroy you. Not a whole lot of talking. If you've ever been in a bar fight, you know you pissed a guy off when he stops talking. Not a whole lot of narration needed in this.
Mike, did you read Cap this week?
I did not.
Thank you for that brief analysis. Back to Drew for your next book.
Alrighty, let's talk about my runner-up for pick of the week. That was Fantastic Four, number 3. Scotty Young thing cover here. A Battle Lines variant, a little late for the Battle Lines month, but we do have that She-Hulk cover right there. And the Assad Ribic cover here. I think that Assad Ribic is probably one of the better artists out today. And I love what he's doing with these covers. Really reminds me of the stuff he did in Secret Wars. Really, really dig it. Yeah, man. This book is a stash. The Fantastic Four is back together. They're fixing problems as a family. They beat the Entropy or the Griever or whatever the hell her name is quite handily. Franklin does a really good job kind of assessing where his powers are now, even as maybe a little bit of a piece of bait. And we get some really great stuff with Spidey in here too. So I really enjoyed this. I thought that this was pretty darn good.
Joe?
I did, and I went with the Lee cover on this one, with the Marvel Knights 20th anniversary cover. And that was the only cover.
I did not see that one. That's beautiful.
It's a beautiful cover. It really is. So what do we got here? We got Fantastic Four goodness, and this is definitely my stash of the week. I don't know, call me nostalgic, but I love it to hear stories where family comes together and they overcome something. I like that kind of storytelling, and that's what we got in here. We got an uncle who's dedicated. We got a great Clobbering Time splash page in there. I mean, the art is clean and sharp. You understand everything that's going in it. And then we find out that Reed Richards really is the man. He doesn't have to explain his plan. It's just faith and family and friends that complete the obstacle, and everybody trusted him, and it was just greatness. It was just a great story. So I thoroughly enjoyed it. Again, yeah, stash of the week for me.
Mike?
Yeah, stash that shit, man.
Is that all we got?
That's it, man.
Feels like
Okay.
I talk too much.
Yeah, I feel bad. We're going off on these books as well. Yep, got it. Good. Stash it. Love it. See you. Bye. Drew didn't talk about it, but I will talk about the Spidey moment here where Franklin, you know, he's supposed to go do something and he's scared to go do it. And there's Ben Graham talking to him at first. And the Spidey comes up, hey, Franklin, you know, how's it going? You know, I can let you know with great power coming and things like, nope, not happening. You know, just kicks him out of there. You know, this is not your job here. This is me. And so there is kind of that cool moment between Ben and Franklin, you know, the uncle, and good stuff. Definitely great stuff. Looking forward to more of it. Glad the Fantastic Four is back, even though issue 1 sucked.
You just trying to be wrong as many times as possible on this show, or
well,
you're just trying to troll me personally? I don't know what's going on here.
It is. Let me mute your mic. Joe, your next book.
Let's see here. We didn't do anything DC yet, so I'm going to go with a book that I know Drew already hates. We're going to go with Mr. Miracle.
I don't think he hates that. I think he likes it, don't you?
Oh, no, you didn't see
Give me a
his
minute.
home.
Okay, you go ahead, and then we'll move on down the line. Drew will be the last to talk about it then.
All right.
Go
The
ahead.
reason why I'm going to bring this book up, this is a horrible comic book. However, I will say this. This is probably the biggest depiction of what depression looks like as a symptom, an underlying symptom for something else going wrong with somebody, not being able to let go of the past and it's constantly there. And then he goes through the mundaneness of life and still pushes through it. That is the emphasis of this story. Is this a comic book? Unfortunately not. This is more of a diagnosis of somebody. It really got deep with it. I don't care if it's it wasn't depression by itself. There's some other factor there. However, and it really is sad. I mean, even though Mr. Miracle and his wife Big Bertha are going to have a kid and all this other stuff, the truth is the mental capabilities that he's under right now, it truly is a depressing story. I think this went way underlined for what it was. However, I'm going to be honest with you. If you've ever had depression or anxiety and you've read through this, you should have felt something in the old feelings. And for a comic book, I'm blasting it. For somebody that might be having a problem, I'm going to stash it for them.
Mike, did you read Mr. Miracle?
No, sir, I did not.
Thank you, Mike. I did read Mr. Miracle. Have you been reading it since the beginning, Joe?
I've read the last 7 issues.
Okay. To me, this has been a great. I mean, yeah, I've dealt with depression. I've dealt with it. It's been a while since I've really had any issues with it, but I think that book has been great. Because at the end of the last issue, they defeated Darkseid. This is kind of them moving forward and what's going on. Now, there's no real closure to the story. Is it? Did he actually die in that first issue? Was he in hell? Is this everything imaginary? What he's living now, this normal mundane life where he's having this second kid with Big Barda, or is it actual real? I mean, he never. I guess that kind of leaves it up to the reader, and that's how I kind of feel with this whole thing. I think this whole story has been great. The whole 12-issue run. I'm not sure if they're planning on doing anything else with it after this, but this is probably my stash of the week. And probably in the Stashies, probably be one of my series of the year as well.
Nice.
Drew?
Stashies, what's that?
Stashies will probably be the end of December. We'll let you know.
What is it?
What are the Stashies? Oh, this will be Drew's first year as a Stashies, huh?
Yes.
Yeah, so Stashies will actually talk about what
The
we like
inaugural
for
Stashies that matter.
the inaugural Stashies that matter.
That's what
Stashies
we're gonna
will
call 'em.
be this is our 3rd annual Stashie Awards coming up in December. So we talk about series we like throughout the year. Well, one Marvel, one DC, one indie, one series, one movie we like, TV show. It's always a good time. Come on by, check us out. We'll let you know when we're going to do it, though. Go ahead there.
You could
What?
also go look up the previous 2 installments of the Stashie
You
Awards.
could. Yes.
And because I'm going to have to watch the second one to get all the categories.
Yeah, that's
And
right.
Maybe we'll add a couple more into
I like
this year,
categories.
but
Okay, Drew, would you give us your impression on Mr. Miracle?
Guys, Mr. Miracle, number 12, came out. I got both covers. I've been picking up both covers of the series the entire way through. And what will surely go down as series of the year for DC Comics, issue number 12 is a letdown and a bore and a slog to read through and gives no closure whatsoever. I think that this series was great. I think that I really love all the underlying things that Joe talked about dealing with depression. I think that it's just superfluous. We didn't need this issue. If it just ended after issue 11, it would have been better. It would have been better. And I guess, yeah, you go back to the mundane, but that's not new because he's been through the mundane the entire time. The entire book has been mundane. when you have then saying, oh, well, they're going to have another kid. Oh, well, they're going to be happy. Well, he's not going to be happy. Well, there's all this good things happening over. Oh, he's never going to be happy. And like, oh, this is resolved over here. Well, he's still thinking about Darkseid. And it's like, oh, well, he's sitting on the couch and Darkseid's right there. It's like that could have been taken care of in 3 panels at the end of issue 11. It didn't need to be this entire issue. I think that it maybe when it's all together in trade, I'll appreciate this issue more, but it was just I expected to get something out of it, and based upon what I got out of issues 1 through 11, I got nothing out of it. So this issue in and of itself is a blast. I did not enjoy it. Series as a whole, yeah, I really liked it. I think it's the best thing that DC is doing right now. Well, I guess they're done doing it. As short as Super Sons, and I like Super Sons a lot. But beyond that, yeah, this was just meh.
Do you think though the whole mundane could have been from the beginning? You think he actually died in the very first issue when he attempted suicide?
No.
You don't think so?
No, but this is obviously not in continuity.
No, I'm not saying it wasn't continuity. I'm just saying
Right.
for this story, for this 12-issue story, did he die at the very first issue? And this is all hell. This is all in his mind. This is all whatever. No, you don't think so?
Nope. No, I didn't even get that as kind of a them really even alluding to that. I think that he's just still miserable because Tom King is a miserable human being.
We talk about it in this issue here, talking about this is not real.
I think it's just perception is what he's talking about, to be honest. I think that it's just I didn't get anything from this issue. I just kept reading it and trying to see what kind of hidden meaning could be in this pile of turd at the end of the rainbow. You know what I mean? It's like, this has been a great journey. And then I'm like, okay, well, I thought that 11 was a great issue. And I thought that 12 was just gave me nothing. Just like, okay, well, what's next? Well, we eat toast. Okay, well, what's on the toast? Well, maybe some jam. No, I don't like jam. Okay, we'll put some butter on it. I'm allergic to dairy. Well, we have some margarine over here. It's like, that's what this was. It was fucking annoying, and I hated it. I'm sorry.
I think that's what's great about this kind of story is different people can interpret it different ways. You know, I can see it as this thing. You could see it as that, even though you think it's a turd. Where I think it's a better story. Where it kind of like Joe was saying, kind of maybe has some underlying depression, underlying mental illness stuff going on there.
No, man, I get all that, and I really appreciate the entire run. I think that it's a really good story. It's the best thing coming out of DC this year, aside from Super Sons. But this issue was pointless, and I hated it.
Okay, well, that's where Drew's going this week. So, Drew attacks the dairy industry. Yes, he did.
Yeah, I drank almond milk.
You do. It's got to be hard to milk those little things. Mike, you're up.
You would know.
I would know. Hello. Go ahead, Mike. You're up.
Milk little things.
Milk little things, yes. Go ahead, Mike.
Oh, I'm up.
You're up.
Books left. Let's do the Black Order, number 1. The Black Order has always been fucking characters. This are trying to assassinate an emperor on this one planet, and the planet, but the art in this just shines. It's badass. I love this pick of the week right here.
Yeah, I didn't like it very much. I thought, I don't know, here we have I can remember their names. Corvus Glaive talking about how he kind of fits into the group. Is he the funny guy? Is he the dark brooding one? Which one is he? And he's trying to figure out his place. I think maybe at the end he kind of realized he's just a badass and into chopping people's heads off. But I don't know, the whole thing of like, where do I fit in? We're this murderous group, but I don't know where I fit in. I just didn't like it very much. So I think I have issue 2 on my pull list, but I'm not sure. Unless issue 2 picks up quite a bit, I'm going to be dropping it. Yeah, see, Comic Pictures Blaine got it. That's a badass cover right there. That cover B you got?
Oh, the face?
Yeah.
Yeah. Gonna be picking all of those up.
Go ahead, Drew. What do you think of Black Order?
Yeah, Marvel does it again. This is fantastic. The beginning with Corvus Glaive, where he's kind of talking about where he fits in the group, was not that great, and it kind of threw me off a little bit until I realized when he told the joke in the middle that wasn't funny. That was the funniest part of the book. And he's like, "Here comes my punchline." And he's like, destroy them. He thought that was funny. That's what somebody like Corvus Glaive would think is funny. And the fact that he's kind of murdering people and having mundane thoughts in his head about, now, where do I fit in? You know, I used to be this guy. I used to do this. I used to do that. Like, what am I doing here? I'm just like murdering people. I wonder, am I the funny one? That actually, when you look at it on a bigger scale, I think really works for this character and really works for this book. I think that they are in the shadow of Thanos a little bit. Now they're working for the Grand Master. And I think that we're going to see a little bit of how these guys operate in a different capacity, where they're kind of going to be like all for one in some cases when they're trying to murder things, and they might have a little bit of dissension in the ranks throughout as well. So I dig it. I thought the art was good, and I like where the story arc's going overall. Was there a little bit of a tonal shift in the beginning? Yeah, okay, I'll give you that, and that's probably why it's not my not in the running for my pick of the week. But I really dug it, and it's a stash. I'm going to be picking this up consistently.
Are they going to be breaking out in a song by Bryan Adams, All for Love?
God, I hope so.
Joe, what do you think of Black Order?
It was a great story. Not the Black Order we're used to, not the Black Order of your grandparents, but okay. I thought it was trying to be goofy and it was trying to be silly, and I got the jokes and I got the humor in it, and I thought it was okay. But anything outrageously exciting in this? No, it was a story. So I'm kind of hoping that altogether the series becomes better. I didn't hate it, but then again, I'm not in love with it. It was just something to read with some background noise on. Couldn't get deep into it. So I'm kind of hoping that, once 2 and 3 start coming out, that's when the good stuff is. However, I did like the artwork in it. That was pretty solid. Some cool stuff. We got a hot chick walking around. Yeah, I'm down for that.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing her in the Black Order that was on Avengers.
Right?
She wasn't.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'd like, hey, I don't remember her seeing in that movie. Maybe because it was PG-13 or something. I don't know. Okay, moving on to I think it's my second to last book that I've read this week. Image Comics, Bitter Root #1. I thought this was a pretty good story. I like the art fit the story well. I did like the story. I think it's going to have some underlying racism stuff kind of going on forward. I don't think they really touched on it a whole lot in this first issue, maybe just a tad bit. But I wasn't like, oh my God, here we go. I didn't feel like that through the whole story. But I thought it was pretty good. Like I said, the art was good. It fit the story well and had a good tone throughout the whole thing and decent pacing and a little bit of humor in there too. I did like the big guy that was very eloquent. He can speak very well, in very big words, unlike me being a big guy, big dumb. This guy can speak very, very clearly, sound very intelligent. But overall, I think this is a stash. I didn't think I had it on my pull list, but when I went to pick up books, there it was. I'm kind of glad I did read it. So this stash for me. Drew, did you read it?
Yeah, funny story about that. I was at my LCS, and somebody said, "Would you like to pick up Bitter Root #1?" And I said, "No, I have no interest in that."
He's a racist.
It's a hilarious story.
Joe?
You hit the nail on the head. This is great. If you like the 1920s You kind of like some borderline steampunk type technology. You like characters going after monsters and doing something that saved the world quietly. This is definitely the book. If that's your kind of story, this is the book that you need to get. This was a great story. I agree. They didn't go, it didn't turn into some social justice warrior argument. There were some scenes with some police officers, and I was like, okay, here it comes. All right, so now we're going to get it. And then, no, it didn't happen. So I was like, oh my God, this has actually been from cover to cover. This was consistently good. I can't wait for this issue number 2. I'm definitely gonna. I liked it so much. I actually, the eBay variant for it that's currently online, I went ahead and grabbed those as well. A couple of those because I think this is your sleeper right here. This is gonna be hot soon.
You read that one, Mike?
I have nipples, Dave. Can you milk me?
Easy, Fokker.
No, I did not.
Well, Drew stepped away from the camera. There, he's back.
I'm back.
Had to do some blow.
I wish. I'm that week.
I think you're up with your next book.
I love cocaine. Yeah.
I hate cocaine. I just like the way it smells.
Jeez.
Mighty Anthony's still there, so she heard the blow comment.
Oh,
of course,
my.
she probably hear me. She's just in the other room, so she probably hear me yelling and screaming about stuff anyhow.
Alrighty, let's talk about The Amazing Spider-Man number 9. Also picked up the X-Men cover, and I grabbed the Wear and Go cover as well. I can't find it. Here it is, with sexy ass Felicia Hardy. Now, all I want to know is, like, Mary Jane, yeah, she's hot, no doubt, fiery redhead, but man, she can never make up her mind about what she wants or where she's going. Gwen Stacy, hot blonde, super smart, dead as a fucking doornail. Felicia Hardy. Who says no to Felicia Hardy? Are you kidding me? It's like Catwoman, but awesome. Man, if I could have one drawing come to life, it would be a J. Scott Campbell drawn Felicia Hardy. And that, jeez. The fact that he's working with Felicia Hardy again, I'm all down for that. But, like, come on, dude. Get it through your head. She's the girl for you. Piss or get off the pot, Spider-Man, or I'm going to put myself in the 616 and find a way to hang out with Felicia Hardy. This is a stash all day long.
Joe, did you read that?
I did. Meow. Great story. We got some good stuff with the Thieves Guild here. They've stole everybody's stuff. They've locked it away in a warehouse, and we got some chick flying through the air in leather, and we got Spider-Man cruising on her backside. See what I did there? All right, sexy goodness with artistic stylings. It was a beautiful, consistently. This is not disappointed yet, and they haven't started yet. This is good.
Mike, tell me you read Spider-Man this week.
I have not read Spider-Man this week.
Oh my God, I haven't read it either. I just got. Would you see the Ringo cover? That's the one I got. I haven't read it yet though.
Yeah, cover, yeah.
Guess we're moving on to Joe and your next book.
Let's go with another DC book. We'll go with Electric Warriors. So yeah, quick homage to Superman in it. You know, everybody's aware of the DC universe in it, and the heroes of old is what they're called. This takes place way in the future. Maybe another dimension that's still kind of, or another universe, but that's still kind of sketchy in it, so I'm not going to dive into that. So what do we got here? Reluctant hero. That's going to be the big superhero. We got the kind of sort of alien master, super mindful person, which is part octopus. Didn't really talk about any of the other heroes in it that much, just focused on those two throughout the story. I think we have the makings of something good here. However, the first issue did not prove that to me. I'm going to keep picking it up because I'm curious about this to see where they take it. There's some good stuff going on in here, but do they actually hash that out and explain it? We're going to find that out. But soft stash.
You best read that this week. No?
Sweet Jesus, no.
I was expecting John Travolta to have a cameo somewhere in there. This
Right.
reminded me of some 70s disco crap, so I didn't even bother picking it up. Mike, your next book.
Yeah, this is my what I didn't read is Peter Parker Spectacular 312, Amazing number 9, Suicide Squad, Oblivion Song, Bloodshot number 1, Rising Spirit, The Cosmic Ghost Rider, Electric Warriors, Detective 992, Catwoman. But my last book is Vault of Spite number 2. And this one we get Captain George Stacy, a.k.a. the Spider. Pretty boring. Go fuck yourself. We also get as Spider-Man. Really? Fucking, that was garbage as well. But I really, really, really enjoyed the Spiders Man, which is basically, he's composed of a whole bunch of spiders. Like when his suit rips open, spiders pour out. Really like the setting they had, the backdrop setting they had of Goblin Knight.
Gobbling Night.
The Green Goblin, the High Jack-o'-lantern, all them cats. They were from the Goblin Queen. I would like to see more of that story, and that was probably the best one out of the bunch. Whatever, stash shit.
The Goblin Queen sounds like maybe a porn you just watched. I don't know. Drew, did you read that? Vault of Spiders?
No, I missed that. I enjoyed the first one quite a bit and was looking forward to it. And I guess I just missed it on the shop shelf.
Okay, Joe, what about you?
Yeah, I read it. All the stories in here were good except for Spider-Man. That was a garbage story. Why is that even a thing? I don't know. I guess they were trying to be funny and it came off stupid. I think is the best word for there. There's my deep word for the day, stupid. However, the other ones that I found interesting was the George Stacy, aka the Spider, and then the Spiders Man story. Those were great stories, great storytelling, something truly unique happening in there. You just don't get much of that anymore. I thought it was really cool the way they played the Spiders. When we saw him in the first vault, nobody really knew who he was or why this is happening, and we kind of got their origin story, if you will. But it's a cool character. It is definitely a darker, cooler character. They off Spider Noir. So now we get a dark Spider-Man personality basis. And it was just awesome. So I enjoyed it. Definite stash.
My last book, and I think issue 6 will probably be the last one I'll be picking up just because I think our germ is dropping off the covers. Therefore, I will not be picking them up, nor would I be reading them. And that is Catwoman. This is number 5. I thought this was the last Artgerm cover, but I guess there's one more. Story's been okay. I don't think it's been great. It's just a continuation of Selena dealing with the government, the governor's wife, essentially. And I don't know. It hasn't been great by any means. Still. And the other cover that I picked up real quick before jump on the next person, Wonder Woman 58. It's cool. Is it Tony Daniel? No, Terry Dodson. Terry Dodson cover of Wonder Woman. Got Detective Comics, and I got Weatherman number 6, but apparently I missed issue 5. I don't know where that is. But anybody else read Catwoman this week?
Yeah. The only reason why I picked these up is for the covers. Seriously, the story is just non-existent to me. There's nothing going on in this that should interest anybody. I don't know why this is happening. However, I will keep buying them as long as Artgerm is making these beautiful, beautiful renderings of art, and that's all I can recognize them as. They're just beautiful.
The art inside that book is very angular.
Yeah.
A lot of sharp corners and stuff to people's faces, and I don't really like that very much.
I'm not a fan of it myself. It's just very, seems like it's heavily penciled, I guess is the correct term for it.
Mm-hmm.
Very sharp and dirty, and I don't like the coloring in it. The coloring is just bland at best.
Kind of reminds me of, what was that video game? A lot of soft shaded cells in there. I forgot the name of it.
And Comic Stress Explained, you are right. That is definitely the cover of the week for me, at least. It's a beautiful cover.
What did you say, Drew?
Soft shell tacos.
Soft shell tacos? Oh, sorry. I got him hungry. You're up, Drew. What's your next book? And maybe run through them real quick. See what else you got.
Geez. Are you guys all out of books already?
I'm out of books. Mike's out of books. I don't think Joe is.
I got tons.
Yeah. All right, Joe. So if you feel like talking about any of these, just jump in. Picked up 611 of this guy named Dirtable. Dirtable. And that's pretty good. We're fighting all kinds of villains, taking them out one by one. What the hell was that? Stop playing with your Shrek finger, you pervert. Picked up the Scooby Apocalypse number 31. This is still awesome. Yeah, so they're fighting monsters still. Yeah, we're doing that. Detective 992. When in the hell is Tomasi jumping on this book so it'll be readable again?
1,000.
God, this DC Comics. Oh man, like Teen Titans is good. Super Sons is good. Mr. Miracle was good until issue number 12. Justice League is good. That's it. Don't read any of the other shit. It's all terrible. Fuck them. They don't know what they're doing. God, for fuck's sake, don't read Nightwing. Dr. Aphra, number 25. If you're or 26, I'm sorry. If you're a Star Wars fan and you're not reading Dr. Aphra, you're cheating yourself out of the best story they've got going. Oblivion Song number 9. Robert Kirkman's best book. Fight me in the street if you disagree. Gideon Falls. Jeff Lemire doing what Jeff Lemire does, and that's be awesome and tell great stories. This is creepy, it's weird, and it's finally going somewhere. I've been saying that for the last like 6 issues, but yeah, it took its while hitting its stride, but I'm really liking that. Speaking of Jeff Lemire, he also writes The World of Black Hammer, and we get the Quantum Age number 4. This is finally tying back into Black Hammer proper, and there's a really nice reveal at the end of this issue. This is kind of like the Black Hammer future team, the Black Hammer 2099, if you will. Pretty cool stuff. The Weatherman number 6. This is awesome. Should be reading it. The art's amazing. Skyward number 8. You finally figure out what's going on with the agriculture in this world and what they're actually eating now that all the cows are extinct. Beyond that, I picked up this cover from, I guess it was 2 weeks ago. It's Amanda Connor, Supergirl number 24 cover. Absolutely love these covers with crypto. Anything with crypto on it, I'm down and I'll buy. God, don't ask me to read the inside. And I also picked up 165, The Mighty Thor. This is the first full appearance of Adam Warlock. This book is beat to shit. The interior is in pretty good shape for the most part. Aside from the color of the pages, the cover is cracked to hell and detached and has been reattached with one single staple there. Makes it kind of hard to flip through, but man, I'm happy to have this, and the price I got it for, I can't be mad at that. So yeah, that's what I picked up this week.
I've been getting a run on Justice League of America. 40-cent covers. Joe.
All right, let's burn through mine real quick. I got Plastic Man number 6. This closes out this series and arc. It ended perfectly. It was the best ending for the series that was there. I know some people like it, some people don't. Whatever your choice is, this ended correctly for that story. Got some closure on it. Hawkman which number are we on in Hawkman? Yeah, number 6. Hawkman number 6, he leaves the microverse. He's going to move out. He's found out he's got a spaceship that was hidden in the microverse. Kind of awesome. And him and the Atom were kind of hanging out, but, he's got to book out and go find out who he is. Great artwork in it. And, of course, I love that cover right there. Next, Superman. Why? Because I'm stupid. So, yeah, we went with Superman. Great cover. Story still kind of dragging. Nothing really going on in it. Yes, they're in the Phantom Zone. We got Zod's coming back to do some damage with this new villain, Rogel Goal, or I think there's what they're calling him. Rogozar. Yeah, whatever. It's a horrible story. The artwork's not that great in it.
I don't read Superman books anymore. I think the real villain of Superman is Brian Michael Bendis.
I would say so too. And the only reason why I keep it on is because there is some interesting aspects of the story, but not because it's a good comic book. Wonder Woman, straight up cover by. However, I did read it, and come to find out, Ares all of a sudden wants to be a good guy. Why? That makes no sense. And he's going to fail at. We already know how the story's going to go. We've seen this before. He's going to fail at. He's going to over-exaggerate it. I think they're going to try to go comical with it. If they do, huge fail. Next, going into Marvel, got some canon for Miss Marvel coming up. Kind of tells you the side stories of everything that happened in between all the movies. It was boring. Next, Domino. That was a straight cover by there. Read the story. Totally lost in it. Have no idea why this is even relevant. So I got to kind of figure out if I really want to get into it or not. But I did enjoy that cover there. For my independents, went back to the Long Ranger number 2 since I got number 1. Story's just getting better and better and better. I'm really digging this. I'm not usually a Western comic kind of guy, but it's good. A lot of action in this particular one too. Dr. Horrible, best friends forever, bro. This was a garbage book. Seriously, somebody in the community should have warned me about this. This was horrible. I blame all of you.
It's on the cover.
Right. Bloodshot. I went with the blank variant on this one just to be able to secure some sort of book in it. Come to find out, we had the preview from the Baltimore Comic Con. So much they could have done here to make this cool. But they didn't. They failed.
Because it's an alien.
Aliens, the original script from Aliens 3, the way the movie should have been written and produced. They came out with the comic book. I'm going to be getting this. This was okay, but it reads just like if you were reading the movie itself. G.I. Joe, number 257. Like this story. I've been kind of following this in and out whenever I can. It's okay. It's not bad. Typical G.I. Joe stuff. Now, my ultimate sleeper of the week. Seriously, if you have not gotten this comic book, you got to go out and find it. I think it's the best comic book out there right now, and it's Terrible Elizabeth Dunn Against the Men in Suits. This is not a social justice warrior comic book by no means whatsoever. The artwork's a little rough in it, but I kind of like that kind of art stylings there. This tells a great, funny little story. It was interesting enough to read. I didn't have any problems with it. Super simple to read, but the art in it was good. It's basically a sell your soul type story, but it was kind of funny, and it had some great Americana mythology kind of tied into it. Definitely recommend it. Huge stash for me. I enjoyed it. And that's all I got.
Okay, that's the end of the comics. Is Mike playing a game? Does Mike have good internet? We'll find out in tonight's segment.
I am not playing a game, and I don't have very good internet. Take a fuck out.
At least we heard him say it this week.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot of news going on. I know WWE just announced a Ronda Rousey pop. I'll be getting that one. We got some more Rugrats coming from Nickelodeon. Also, the Wild Thornberries as well. So if you're a fan of that shit, be on the lookout for those. Boy Meets World, Topanga, and the other guy. Nobody cared what his name was because we just watched it for Topanga or whatever the fuck her name was. Scrubs, we're getting a couple pops from that. Tokyo Ghoul, more pops from that. And rumored Michael Jordan is getting with a review. So grabbing those because I lived through that shit being raised in Chicago. That's really all I got for Funko news. Get any Funkos this week either?
Can I ask you a question about Funkos real quick?
Absolutely.
Okay. How about we get a Michael Jordan variant that has the Hitler mustache where he's selling underpants? Is that going to happen?
We could do that. We could do that.
That's how good he was at basketball. He was so good at basketball that when he retired, he got to sell underpants with a Hitler mustache, and nobody said a goddamn thing about it. I want to be that good at something.
I think it'd be if they make a Michael up in the Chicago uniform.
Yeah, I didn't get any of that, but good try.
Okay. You get any Funkos this week, Drew?
No, I did not. No Funkos. Funko-less week for me.
I don't think Joe got any Funkos either.
My wife picked up like 14. I just kind of stood there and held the bags. She got all the new releases for the Lord of the Rings and a bunch of Harry Potter stuff. So whatever the new stuff is out now, that's what she got. Looked it up.
You sit there and look at that picture in the background like I'm at Cape Cod.
It's very relaxing.
I didn't get anything this week either. I guess we're going to wrap it up. We got a couple things to talk about. We do have the Patreon coming up. We do have a new Patreon member. I'd have to look it up. I forgot to check it out before we went on there. But it is brought to you by Rogue City Comics this month. I have a couple 1 in 10 variants as well as some other books we're throwing in there. So we have 2 winners again for the month of November. I did do a short little video on it. I posted it up on our YouTube channel and on our Facebook group. Go check it out. We did offer the 10 books for $15, 10 random books for $15, a varying age and publishers too. So could be Bronze Age. I doubt any Silver Age, but Bronze Age stuff or up to modern. And I'm hoping to get a wide variety of stuff if somebody wants to do that. I don't want to give them all 90s freaking Image Wetworks crap. You know, I want to get some good stuff in there.
Hey, fuck you, Wetworks is awesome.
So, whatever.
Copies of Turok in there, number 1.
Yeah. So if you do join that, it's $15 a month, 10 random books, plus you get 3 entries into the weekly drawing for the books. So definitely check that out on our Patreon. Link should be down below in the description. So I think that's it. Drew, last minute shout outs for you before we head out tonight.
Yeah, I'd like to shout out everybody in the chat. Comments Misexplained's been here the whole time. Bruce A.S. was in here earlier. Good to see you guys in here early. A lot of folks stopped by to say hi. So shout out to all y'all. Thanks for stopping by. Check out that Patreon. Get some books. Make my pockets jingle. A very, very special shout out to an icon that we lost this week. Stan Lee, rest in peace. I said it on my channel. Hey guys, yeah, I put out a video this week, so go to my channel and check it out.
I'm about to go check that out. Wasn't even in my notifications.
Well, it's because you're not subscribed to me. Because everybody knows we've got a secret behind the scenes beef.
This is what it is.
I don't know. I'm trying to raise some interest in our channel by insinuating that we've got some sort of drama. That way people can tune in and speculate and see how it all plays out. So
last week, because I named it the Drew No More or whatever it was, we had twice as many views on last week's video. Just because
people think I'm getting fired. They're like, what happened? What happened now? So let's keep doing that. But back to Stan Lee. He created the modern comic book as we know it, guys. Yeah, of course he stood on the shoulders of some giants like Ditko and Kirby along the way. But oh man, did he make it okay to be a comic book fan when we were kids. That to me was something that really stuck out. He created or co-created most of the fantastic characters that populate these universes, and inspired most of the characters that populate the Distinguished Competition. Without Stan Lee, would I be sitting here talking to you nerds about comics? What are we going to do? Talk about Batman? Get the fuck out of here. Marvel is comics. Anybody who hates on Marvel can deal with the fact that, yeah, they're the iPhone, they're the Verizon. Marvel is comics, and Stan Lee is Marvel, and that to me means a lot. Mostly, watching the reactions from the rest of the world on Twitter was something that touched me a lot. Seeing people from all different walks of life, all different levels of economic success, different race, religion, creed. Everybody in the world had, well, aside from Bill Maher and Armie Hammer, those two fucking douche nozzles, everybody in the world seemed to have something nice to say about the man and his passing, and it amazed me to see how many people were touched by this guy. Made me feel like I was part of something bigger. And so shout out to Stan the Man. 95 good years on this world. Can't ask for anything more than that. Other than that, hey guys, see you next week.
Joe.
Hey, we got a lot of things coming up here in the near future. We got C2E2 coming up in the spring. Of course, we always got something going on here. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please check out our Patreon site where $1 will make you holler any given time, any given day. By all means, donate. Go by there and check that out. Also, of course, Stan's passing too. I think everybody should have something to say about that. I met Stan Lee once. He was part of a USO tour that came over when they were giving out the deployed soldier comic books and the PXs, and we were part of the security force. So it was really an honor to be able to meet him and to know that, first off, he was a veteran. He was a member of the American Legion. He was also a local member of his Masonic Lodge. He created universes, both this community and fictionally, that will transcend the time, that will transcend space and time, period. That he won't go away. He's inspired. He's grown. He's just one of those few people that you get in a lifetime that you get to sit there and go, yeah, he did it. Whatever the subject matter is, and that is truly awesome. I think it's something that we should all inspire to do. So yeah, that's really great, and I'm kind of happy because it was that time. 95 years on this earth, creating and developing and doing. Rest well. You deserved it, definitely. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody out there, and of course, fashion.
Mike, looking stoic.
Yes, sir. What are we doing?
We're doing shout-outs.
What are you doing?
Oh, I want to shout out Nick Leslie just because he popped in the last half hour here, and he's been active. Comics Misexplained. You guys said a lot about Stan Lee, and never got the chance to meet him, but Drew said it best when all walks of life were acknowledging his passing. You went on Facebook and that's all you saw, so that was pretty cool. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. I'll be at work, so.
To kind of go off a little bit, Drew said. This kind of goes back to the Scoutmaster a minute. I had a scout meeting a couple weeks ago where we were working on a collection merit badge. So I brought my collection. I brought what the boys needed to do to complete their merit badge. So I brought my comics in. I talked about what I collect. And a lot of them saying, "You're old, dude. What are you doing collecting those?" And it kind of goes back to what Bill Maher was saying, that it's adults that read comics are idiots. I explained to my kids or my boys that, I said, for quite a few years I was on antidepressants. I took those to kind of help myself regulate. I got back into collecting comics at 40 years old. Since then, I have not been on antidepressants. It's given me an outlet. So I tell them, whatever your hobby is, whatever you have to do to collect, do it. If it makes you happy, do it. And I think that's what comics does for me. I mean, to go back to talking about Stan Lee and all the stuff that he created throughout time, you know, it's not only Marvel, but a lot of other, you know, DC and all the other creators. It's given me an outlet to be healthier mentally for me. I feel like I'm cracking up here. I'm not cracking up. It's going through. I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry. No, but
I'm not crying. You're crying.
So it does go back to seriously, whatever makes you happy, regardless of what it is. Whether you're 42 years old and you have a room to yourself that's full of toys and comic books, if that makes you happy,
What are you trying
that
to
makes
say?
you happy. And I think that's what everybody needs to look at. I mean, and not make fun of people because they do this, because they do that, because whatever makes them happy makes them happy. Live life. That's all I got to say. Blast it or stash it. Happy Thanksgiving. I forgot a motto now. I got all teared up there. Whether you
One
blast
last-
it or whether you stash it, happy reading.
One
Yeah,
last
go ahead,
thing.
Drew.
Yeah, fuck you, buddy. We got beef.
Whether you blast it or whether you stash it, happy reading, and Drew will not be here next week. Bye.